A very good evening to you, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Kuwait Pilot Channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. Today, we are going to be revisiting one of the better general aviation aircraft for X-Plane 12, one that I have not really seen get enough exposure in the flight sim world, and I think it is probably one of the better general aviation aircraft, no other than the CIS Seneca II by JetStream. And this is the beautiful Piper here. We have some issues with the elevation here because of map enhancement, so we can see the aircraft from live traffic flying into the into the taxiways here. It looks like it subsides after they move on the taxiway there. But anyway, this guy is sunk into the, yeah, this is definitely map enhancement issue. But nonetheless, this aircraft I've covered on its release, and then I did not revisit the aircraft. Well, the good news is it has recently received an update bringing in persistent state of the aircraft. So for getting your battery on will now drain the battery. The next time you come to the sim, you will not have the batteries working. And that is something I really like. I would prefer to have this as optional for those who do not like to have persistent state. But nonetheless, we are going to take this aircraft to a short flight today in the state of Arizona. And speaking of that, this is our flight today. We are at Scottsdale, I hope I said that correctly, in the United States, in the state of Arizona. We're departing today runway 21 or 21 through the Merrick 1 departure, through the Papa X-Ray Romeo departure. And then we are going to be cruising at about 10,000 feet, enough for us to pressurize the plane and put it through its phases. And then we are going to be arriving into Flagstaff Pulliam, I suppose. Again, in the state of Arizona. We are going to pick runway 21 because it is the runway with the calmer winds. So that is the runway where it should be a fun flight. We are going to be using the aircraft with the TDS Garmin GTN 750, and I will be showing you around the aircraft. The first thing you'll notice is that now you need to do a walk around. Now, when you first purchase this aircraft, or when you perform a full update of the aircraft, there are a couple of things that you need to do. First, the aircraft is going to come with empty tanks, so you will need to refill the fuel tanks. That's one. Two, you need to check the oil and make sure that it has sufficient oil. Otherwise, your engines won't start. So, and of course, we have to perform the walk around and remove all the static elements. Want to welcome all of you guys here. We have No Peace and No Glory. Stan, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Zevin.3, welcome aboard. HD Sim, long time, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us this evening. And we have Toddle 210, welcome aboard. Aviation to Simulator, welcome aboard. TC Ryan, a very good morning to you, my friend from San Diego. Okay. So first thing first, we're going to perform the walk around. We're going to make sure everything is good. We're going to assume that all is good. We're going to remove the static elements and the engine covers. We're going to come here. There's a pitot as well here, so we're going to remove that. And now we have the aircraft ready for the pre-flight check. Now, if for any reason you forget your batteries on and you come to the sim and you find out that there is no battery, you're going to have to use the GPU to start the aircraft. It will then charge the battery once you have both engines running. So in order for me to show you this, are you guys experiencing any issues or buffering on your side? Please let me know. I'm showing excellent connection, but I just want to make sure that you guys are okay. So what you need to do in that situation, no buffering here. Okay, perfect. So in that event that you lose your battery and you need the GPU, you need to open the front cargo, and the GPU unit is right here. So you have to click it, and now it's connected to the aircraft. There's no other way of starting the aircraft. So you have to do this if your battery is drained for any reason. Okay, that out of the way, let's come into the cockpit. And I really love the Piper cockpit, especially this aircraft. I had a lot of trouble. Oh, I forgot to turn on my cockpit here, cockpit software. So let's turn that on so I can get those beautiful vibration with the Moza flight yoke. And yeah, I've had actually a lot of issues starting this aircraft, and the developer was kind enough to send me a video of how to start it. This aircraft simulates flooding. If you forget, for example, the GPU, and you start the engine while the GPU is connected, it's going to burst, and you're more than likely going to lose your engine as well. Excuse me, guys. So there is an amount of realism programmed into the aircraft. You have all the circuit breakers modeled and functional as well, as you can see here. So if I go here, you can see, yeah, you have the circuit breakers. And the flight model of this aircraft has been tested by real-world pilots, so they vouch for the authenticity of its flight model. If you love Piper cockpits, you should visit my simulator one day. Well, given the opportunity, I would not say no. Yeah. So yeah, I really do like the Piper cockpit here. I think it looks very good. And the passenger cabin also looks nice. These lights, by the way, work. We'll probably test them a little bit later during our flight. We do have the fuel shutoff valves right here. So those are already turned on. And you have in the glove compartment the information manual, and you can see now here we can add a little bit of fuel. I don't think we need more than that. Actually, let's go ahead and give it a little bit more. There we go. And we have the battery. You can see the external power is disconnected. You have all the information. You have a check here, meaning that the aircraft weight and balance is worthy for flight. You can select the avionics package. Now, it is compatible with both the TDS and the Reality expansion, the Reality XP GTN 750. The Reality GTN 750, in my opinion, does not compare to the GTN by TDS. Or you can just, if you're really brave, you can go no GPS, VOR radios only. That's for extra fun. You can also toggle the Garmin G5 ADI HSI. Let me show you here. So if you select this option, you're going to get, GTN here. So you'll get the Garmin devices here. I prefer the analog displays here. So let's hop into, let's actually start powering these aircraft. It's really difficult to start it up, and flooding the aircraft, you can really very easily flood the aircraft. So I'll try my best to do it right the first time, but if it doesn't work, don't hold it against me. Okay, so we are going to first make sure that the fuel shutoff valves are both on, and then we are going to move here. We're going to make sure that the mixture is on full bridge and the throttle is full forward. We're going to come down here, and here we have the master battery switch on. The alternator switches are both on. We're going to turn on the anti-collision light. And yeah, we can see that this is working fine. With the auxiliary fuel pump is on low. And then we're going to turn on the magneto switches. Now, for priming, there is a manual that tells you what you need to prime. It depends on the outside temperature. And let's see if you can focus your attention on this fuel flow gauge. I'm going to try the right engine here. You see how it kind of, you saw that little one. So we'll just do another one like that. And then we're going to bring back the right engine right here. And let's see if we can get it to start. No, that did not start. Oh yeah, let's see what we've done. It still says cold. So let me see if we can, let's see. I don't want to flood the engine. So let me see here. Maybe we need just a little bit more prime. All right, let's take a look. All right, still looks good here. All right, so we're going to bring this back right there. And let's see if we can start it now. Still no luck. Maybe we need to prime it a little more. All right, still says cold. Okay, so let's see. Let me give it a little bit more prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's check here. Ah, see? Now we flooded the engine. All right, so if you flood the engine, you need to turn off your fuel pumps. Then we need to put the mixture on full cutoff and the throttle on full forward. And let's give it a shot now. There we go. No, that didn't work. Okay. Well, let's bring this back. And let's see if it works now. Yeah. All right. So finally we have a start there on one of the engines. Wow, quite complicated, huh? That's why this plane comes with 2 engines. If you flood one, there is always the other one to get going. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, so now if you click here, you'll see that this engine is running and this one is still cold. All right, let's see if we can start the second engine or the left engine properly. Again, I don't want to flood it. So I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3 very quickly here. All right, let's see if we can start the left engine. Nope. Doesn't want to start. All right, so let's try to prime it just a little more. 1, 2. And let's check here. Right, still looks good. We'll bring this back. And let's see. Let's see if that starts now. Still no luck. All right. Okay. So I think we need to prime it a little more without flooding it, hopefully. So let's see. Let me turn the fuel pump here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to close that. Let's give it a shot. All right, so it's still okay. And now if we bring this... Oh, no, nope. If we bring this back, let's see if we can start the engine now. Still no luck. I really don't know why it's doing that, but let me... Maybe it needs more prime. I'm sure we flooded the engine. We sure did. Okay. So what we need to do is bring this all the way... No, all the way forward. Bring the left all the way to cutoff. And we need to turn off the fuel pump. And let's see now if it works. Why is it not working? Let's see. Still says flooded. All right. So let's bring this back. Doesn't want to start, does it? There we go. Finally. I think it died. Okay, so let's see if we can do it now. Yeah, finally. Wow. That was a laborious process right there, wasn't it? Okay, well, we finally have both engines running. The sounds are quite nice. I'm going to put the... so you guys can hear me while we do the flight plan so that it's not too noisy, but we definitely want those sounds once we're ready to go. Okay, now we can go ahead and we're going to turn on, we'll leave the fuel pumps for now. Let's bring the throttle back right there. Okay, cowl flaps are open. Okay, perfect. We can bring back the yoke, and we can see the yoke shaking here. This is again the Moza flight yoke. All right, let's turn on the avionics. And we can see the Bendix weather radar also working. And now we have the TDS, beautiful TDS Garmin GTN 750. We can put this now. We can make sure that everything is running fine.
System test.
So we're going to put this away, and we're going to close the glove compartment. And while we can do this, I actually want to zoom in like that. And we'll bring up Navigraph charts here, and we'll put it on the side. We'll go to view the SimBrief plan. Mr. Robert, how are you doing, my friend? I have spent a lot of time getting these engines going. Yeah, likewise, as you have seen. Yeah, it does. Let me give it just a little power here so that it doesn't, you know, vibrate too much. I've adjusted my settings a little bit. All right, let's see here. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, that's reasonable. Okay, let's go to the flight plan. And we are at Scottsdale right now. We are heading over to Flagstaff. I've never heard of this place, by the way. Anyway, we are at Scottsdale, so we are going to select the procedure. And the procedure here today is going out of the Maris 1, so departure. And let's see, where is Maris 1? That's the one here. Excellent. Runway 21. And the transition is automatically selected. So we're going to say load departure. Then we're going to go, this is the, all right, so there we have an airway, which is vector 105. So we're going to say load airway 105, and we're going to exit at DRK Drake, and we're going to say load, and then there is another airway, which is vector 12. So again, load airway and vector 12, and we're going to exit at Oates. Oates. Let's see here. LMNO. Oates, there we go. Southwest United States. And then from Oates, it's vector 327. So load airway, and that's the one here. And the exit is at Flagstaff, and load that. And then it's going to be direct to KFLG. So KFLG, Flagstaff, Pulliam. Is it Pulliam, guys? Is that, I'm saying it correctly? So the cheater engine starter checklist is flood the engine, mixture to cut off, 3, try starting until it start, mixture back to full. Brilliant. Absolutely. Okay, so let's enter that. And then here we're just going to select load procedure, and the approach is the ILS runway 21. And we're going to say load the approach. Okay. And we are good to go. So we're going to go to the map here. And we're going to make sure this is on GPS. Yep. So this is our departure here. Let's see here. How does this work? Goes there. It's a bit of a funny departure, isn't it? Yeah, we can just fly direct later on, but that's okay. All right. So we are going to leave this on. Actually, let's do on. Altitude reporting before we forget it, and we'll leave this on the map, and all is good here. Okay, perfect. And now I think everything is good here as well. This is on. I think I left this on from the previous flight. Okay, so we are all ready to go here, and we need our taxi lights. So let me just come over here. And we are going to turn on, this would be the wing, so these are the strobes. So landing lights on, nav lights on, and we're going to turn on the fuel pumps for the takeoff. We're going to set flaps for departure. So let's do that. All right, flaps are set. Let's just ensure that they are indeed set. Yep, the flaps are set. Look at this beautiful aircraft, guys. Beautiful sounds as well. Very, very nice. Very cool aircraft. See the beacon light there? Very nice. Okay. All right, we're all good to go here. And we are going to release the brakes. And off we go. There's definitely something wrong with the scenery from probably a result of map enhancement. So I'm going to try and avoid this area here so that we don't sink. Look at this slope. That's definitely not correct there. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely off there. I don't know, again, if this is accurate, but I hardly doubt that it is. Okay, perfect. Let me ease off there on the engines. Very, very nice aircraft. And we picked, I think, a nice time of the day as well to fly. So, so all is good here. Yeah. All right, let's switch to the external view. Again, very, very nice sounds. And X-Plane is looking very, very nice. Yeah. Check out the sounds. Very nice sound. The engine sounds are really, really nice. Right, we can remove the... there, you can hear the sounds now. Ooh. Private jet taking off. Very nice. Live traffic is really, really cool. And the recent updates have really added the animations for the flare, for the engine reversers. So it really is becoming a favorite of mine, live traffic. And the nice thing about it is it gets real data. So... you know, and you get to see, you know, jets, you get to see a lot of Cessnas when you go to general aviation airports, and very, very realistic in terms of even, you know, the lineup of the aircraft. As you can see, there is an aircraft still lining up there waiting to take off. So I really, really like it. Okay, so in preparation for departure, there is no altitude selector, by the way, in this aircraft. So we're going to have to monitor our altitude. Very strange that it doesn't have it. I checked here. This is the autopilot system, and it doesn't have it. So we just have to monitor our altitude as we depart. And what is that? Is that an aircraft? Yeah, definitely. Look, another general aviation aircraft. Looks like another Seneca. Yeah, very cool. All right, let's make the turn here. And this is the hold short for runway 21. And why is this aircraft still not departing? All right, let's see. We'll give it a little time if it doesn't move. Looks like he is lining up. Busy day here, isn't it? Yeah, there's another one here. Lots of aircraft in the sky. I'm not sure what this guy is doing. But at any rate, we are going to come down here and turn on our strobe lights. Everything here is set for departure. All is good. Perfect. And let's see here. All right, so he is finally he's been given the clearance to take off. So he's on his way. And we can now line up and wait. And once he clears the runway, then we can be on our way. Oof, what is this guy doing? Holy moly. Citation X. All right. Right, we'll just wait for the aircraft to clear the runway and we'll be on our way. Let's hope there are no trees, buildings on the runway. Yeah, that would be a problem. Okay, so I think we are... I don't think we need to go to PXR. So once we depart, we'll just pick another... We'll fly direct to... Alright, I think we're good. Let me just take a look here. I think we are... Oh, what is this guy doing? Really? Yeah, obviously live traffic does not know, you know, that we are on the runway. It's not aware. But, yeah, so things like that are going to happen. Let's make sure there are no... Alright, so there is another GA here coming to line up, so hopefully we'll take off before that one. Alright, and again, I have my Moza flight yoke running as well, so you can see the vibration here is from the Moza flight yoke. It feels really good, by the way, guys. Captain Ray, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. All right, here we go. Let me just, so I can see what I'm doing here. Right, there we go. All right, the CCAS is working. And rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Ooh, you gotta love those vibrations. And the TDS MX traffic. All right, there we go. Right, let's maintain runway heading. Let's retract the flaps. And begin the turn. Let's watch our pitch here. Right, looking good. Right, and at this point we can come over here and we can click on nav, and that takes care of that. Right, 3,000. And by the way, we did not set the altimeter, did we? Right, there we go. All right, all's looking good here. It's a free plug. Does the X-Plane have live traffic now? It's a free plugin. That is correct, yes. Okay. So, about 6.5 knot. Now, I don't think I want to go to... Let me pop this, see if we can pop this out. All right, if I go back and we go to the flight plan, so we don't need to go there. I think we can fly direct to John. So, we're going to come over here, and then we're going to select flight plan. And we're going to select John and activate. There we go. Perfect. right, all looking good here. All right, let's see here. I think we need to bring the RPM back a little bit. $2,400 RPM. Okay, that's good. All right, perfect. I can still feel subtle vibration in the yoke, which is pretty cool. All right, I think we need to go to the weather here, and 299.5. So let's go ahead and set that 299.5. There we go. All right, we're looking good here, and continue to climb to 10,000 feet. By the way, this aircraft is fully equipped with an oxygen mask in case it loses pressure. There is, you can click here, you see this little thing here, that's the oxygen mask to prevent hypoxia. So that is modeled, which is pretty cool. All right, there we go. Manifold pressure. Let's bring the fuel flow back a little bit. Oh, fuel flow is fine. All right, all in the green here. We're looking good. Wow, this aircraft is really, really nice. Right, we can put the headset on so you guys can hear me better. Right, we're approaching 900,000, so let's go ahead and kill the landing lights. We're gonna come down here and landing lights off. And everything else is in tip-top shape. You have the weather radar working here as well. So really, really nice aircraft. I really like the Seneca, and they have, by the way, there is the Seneca, there is also the Seminole, and they have another aircraft in progress now, the Chieftain, something like this. All right, so we're gonna come here and now click on altitude. So let me first say down, 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 and let's go to altitude. There we go. So now that should keep us here at 10,000 feet. And we'll have to also bring the speed back a little bit. So we'll bring the throttles back so that we can maintain our speed. There we go. That's pretty good. If we look here at the manifold pressure is okay. RPM is okay. Everything is good. Perfect. All right. So we'll continue at this altitude now for a little while. It's not a very long flight today, so we should make it rather quickly to our destination. And yeah, I like the integration with the TDS, and I like all the persistent features that Captain Iceman has brought into this version of the Seneca and the Seminole. How do you set the altitude? There is no setting of altitude in this aircraft, unfortunately. TKFS Linux Gaming, hello my friend, welcome aboard. So it's manual at 10,000 feet. You have to just click here to hold the altitude. So you can manage your pitch trim here to set the aircraft, but there is no way to set the altitude on this aircraft. So it says fuel on, is it? Yeah. All right. So we turn these off. Right. So the auxiliary fuel pumps are off, and we continue now to continue. We'll leave the. All right. Everything's cool here. Okay. Now, one thing to note, if we go to our flight plan and we go to flights and we go to Flagstaff and we select the approach, again, this is the favored runway for the arrival simply because of the winds in this area. So this is our runway and the, ooh, look at that, 10,200. So we are, really, 10,200? Strange, huh? Okay, so we are actually pretty much at the platform altitude of 10,200. So yeah, we are at 10,000 feet. So we'll just keep it there. All right, let's take a quick look here at the outside. Again, look at the beautiful map enhancement there, how it really changes the world in X-Plane. Really works very, very well. And it does not require, you know, the bandwidth that, for example, Microsoft Flight Sim requires, which is, you know, which is always a good thing. Can hear the lights. Okay, let's see if I can show you the lights here. Yeah, so you can see the light here now. So the cabin lights actually do work, which is pretty cool. I don't think anything else works here, but yeah, you can actually drink Pepsi or Coke, whatever, you know, whatever is popular in your part of the world. I really miss my TDS GTN since I migrated to Linux. Oh, I see. Gaming on Linux is amazing indeed. Have not looked at Windows for 3 months now. Really? Wow. That's maybe something I should give it a try and, you know, see if it works for me. Yeah. All right. So let me set that up here. Right, so we're looking good. Let me take a quick look here. Is this bad weather coming our way? It looks like it is. All right, so Zader is the next one. Let's take a quick look here. Let me just do that and see if we can spot. All right, so that would be, okay, that's Zamab. And then from Zamab, it's final. So from here, from Oats, we can actually fly direct to Zamab and then make the turn for runway 21. Okay, so where are we right now? We are right here. Yeah, not a very long flight. I think this is just to maneuver between the mountains, the mountainous terrain, perhaps. Anyway, let's go back. And I love the TDS Garmin device. Very, very nice. One thing I wanted to check was the IS 110.5, and you'll see that 110.5 is the standby frequency. So when we activate the vectors to final, it will switch automatically, or we simply click here to switch both of these channels. I just bought some upgrades for my PC. Now I'm poor again. Just missing some Windows-only stuff like GTN indeed. Small price to pay for freedom. I suppose so. Yeah. Okay, so all is good here. We are on our way to our destination. Flying over the state of Arizona is always a pleasure, as the mountainous terrain in Arizona is quite nice. I really like flying over mountains, especially in the U.S. I think it looks spectacular. The terrain, the variety of terrain in the U.S. just really amazes me. I mean, you get to see everything. You know, you get to see the you know, the green of Europe. You could see the mountains of, you know, like something similar to the Alps. You see desert, you see grass, you see everything. It's a huge country. It's a continent on its own. So, yeah. So it's always a pleasure to fly over the, you know, over mountainous terrain. Looks really, really nice. All right, let's switch here to the outside view here and just take a quick look at, you know, map enhancement. Again, how it really changes how things look in the sim. As you can see, and the sky colors, the haze, everything really in X-Plane is looking fantastic. and we have, beautiful general aviation aircraft as well. We are going to be taking a look at the Thronda Bonanza V35, which has been recently released this coming weekend, followed by the M500 for X-Plane as well. So a few very good general aviation aircraft have released, and I have a thing for general aviation. I really like general aviation aircraft, so that's something we're going to be doing in the days to come. Flagstaff is the gateway to the Grand Canyon. Beautiful scenery. Oh, thank you for that. I didn't know that. Thank you very much. Mr. AJ Frunari, how are you doing, my friend? Long time no see, no talk. Yes, sir. I hope you are well, my friend, and in good health. It's always a pleasure to have you here on stream. I'm doing a flight from Warsaw to Dai in the Sparky 7.4. Ooh, nice. It is very beautiful. Yes, sir. Definitely. Definitely. Okay. So while we fly, I wanted to share a few updates with you guys. So let me take you over to my project, fsmonitor.io, and give you guys a little bit of the changes that I have made in the recent past. So the first thing you'll notice is that the site has a brand new, fresh look and feel. I have made some changes. I believe the news cards were not very clear. The text was coming all over the images. So that is now taken care of with a much cleaner look. You have now one big featured story here. I kept the same logic for computing the braking score. So it's a very complex formula, but it ensures both accuracy and fairness for any news item that comes live. You'll also notice that I have made some changes here so that you have actually the sources on the left side with the icons, so you can immediately know which sources are currently active. If you click here on the sources, you'll have access to all the sources that are currently live. There are about 24 total sources, but that's going to depend on, what news items come from which source. So sometimes some sources are not as active as others. Yeah, FS Monitor is Q8 Suite. Yes, sir. You didn't know. Oh, and now you do. So thank you very much for being here, Peter. Appreciate it. So on this side, you have the sim status, but it's not just I still need to add POSCON here because I think it's getting popular. But if you actually click here on a simulator, it will tell you, the simulator, when was it launched, a little bit about it, quick facts, how to get started, with, for example, MSFS, add-on ecosystem, official sources, you can see them all here, the community hubs here, whether it's Reddit, whether it's FlightSimTO, AppSim, and the latest MSFS news. And this is true for all the sources that you'll find on this side. You've got the top stories here. This follows a little bit of a different logic. And of course, you can sign up for the weekly Flight Sim Digest. We'll get to that in a minute. You will also see that now there is the Today in Flight Sim. It tells you how many stories were published today, the top developer, and what is the change versus last week in terms of the news items. If you click on that, it will take you to the briefing. And in the briefing, it will tell you what is the pulse score. So things are getting pretty active in Flight Sim the last couple of weeks. I have seen the pulse score going up rather than going down. You can see that there is a lot more focus on MSFS. That's because most developers actually develop for MSFS. So welcome aboard, Jam, to the Q8 Pilot family. Glad to have you with us. So yeah, you have the top categories here, the developers and, the review, hardware. So if you don't want to go through all the cards, you can simply come here for a quick brief on what's happening in the flight sim world on any particular day. This updates every day at 6 a.m. Universal Standard Time. So that's when this updates every day. Okay, now here's the cool thing. If you move up to, by the way, very important, the simulators here, you can actually filter by a simulator, and you can actually filter by the category or any combination of both. So you can say, I want, for example, MSFS, and I want only aircraft. And now it will filter only aircraft and only MSFS 2024. So you don't want that. You can just click here and remove those pills, and you go back to the main, the main feed that has pretty much everything organized by breaking score. Now, one thing about breaking score, just for you to know, and by the way, this is all automated, so I do not touch anything. I've built it so that it's fully automated. Now, all the news items will start moving down because there is an automatic decay of the breaking score. So something that scores, for example, 75 on day one of its release will decay every hour. It decays a little bit, and so it loses that, allows new items to come on top. So that's how it's built. Now, the very cool thing, you do have a search, by the way, if you want to search. So if I type in here PMDG, you'll get everything here with PMDG, whether it's hardware, whether it's software, scenery, aircraft, you'll get it here for the last 7 days. And the cool thing is you have here an account. Now, for the first time, it will give you a tour, but let me show you. If you go, by the way, joining is absolutely free of charge, but if you click here on join, it will tell you what are the member benefits. Following developers, saving stories, you can have your own hangar, and alerts are coming soon based on popular demand. Okay, now you can go ahead and put your email, your password, create an account. But you can also, if you go back here, if you click on tools, you have all of them here. And you have a little link here that says, how does FS Monitor work? And if you click that, it will tell you exactly what the site does for you. Follow what matters, build your hangar, and save stories and get alerts. Okay, you can say got it, or you can go here to create a free account. Now, once you actually log in, I can actually log in here. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so now I'm logged in, and you'll notice that I can now click here. It says FS Monitor member, and it says my FS Monitor here. So if I click on that, now you'll be able to see, what I've watched, what I've bookmarked. Newsletter is active, alerts are on. I have the breaking news alert and the push notifications both on. And now you can actually select for your newsletter if you don't want all. I have now everything. If you don't select one specifically, so let's say I click here on explain and I say save preference. Now I will get a newsletter every Sunday at 2 p.m. Universal Standard Time with the top 10 items for Explain 12 only. So you can actually change this. You can say, I want, for example, Explain 12 and DCS World, and then you'll get only the news relevant to those in the newsletter. Okay, obviously, I want to see what comes in everything, so I don't normally select any of them, but you can do that for sure. Now, another thing is you have the My Watch list here. By the way, let's check real quick here on our flight, see where we are. Okay, we are still good here. Okay, one more thing. Yes, I know I'm taking too long. I'm very passionate about this project. So the watch list here allows you to follow any developer. So I can, for testing, I was just looking at Airfoil Labs and FlyJSIM. To do this, you just simply click here on follow. These are organized alphabetically. And so you can click on, for example, I want JetStream Design, Just Flight. So I'll click here, Just Flight. And now I have Just Flight also being followed. Here in the bookmarks is everything I've bookmarked. And updates, these are the updates. Explain 12.4.1. My hangar, these are the news items for the developers that I've been following. Just Flight, FlyJSIM, and again, Just Flight. So all the news for whatever you follow here will come in the hangar. But that's not all. If you go actually to the site, and you go, for example, let's load a little more. All right. So now you can see that there is something called major story. So this is the way I've decided to deal with duplicates, because a lot of sources will release the same news. So when that's detected, it groups it, and it says that this is a major story, and it tells you that this is Orbix. But also you can click here to find out a little more about Orbix. So if you click here, it takes you to Orbix simulations, tells you when the company was founded, and it was founded in 2006 by John Venema. The simulator, all simulators. The article is tracked. I'm currently tracking 2, and the latest news is from 3 days ago. Tells you what is the latest news. It looks like there's an issue with the DRM controversy for the Atlanta scenery. Quick facts about the developer, the official links, website, and the forum. And you can click here to follow Orbix. If I click here, now Orbix is also followed, and I'll get it in my hangar. So this is in a nutshell what FS Monitor does today. Again, it's a news aggregator. So if you click on any of these, it does not have any additional text. It just simply links to the original source, but it is a good way for you to scan all the news and know exactly what's going on in the flight sim world at ease, live. The minute it happens, you'll have it here at FS Monitor. Now, this has been really a labor of love, and it has actually cost me a lot more than what I originally anticipated. But I promised the community that there will be no ads on this site. I will not do any, Google ads, anything like that. No paywalls. The only thing that I have implemented, not yet, affected, but implemented, is I have built a sponsor system. So if somebody wants to sponsor the site, they can. There's a very small badge that they will have on the left column where it says, for example, Navigraph is a platinum sponsor, gold sponsor, whatever, of FS Monitor. It is getting a bit costly, with the database cost, the hosting costs, the artificial intelligence that I'm using as well for the formulas for scoring. The breaking score is actually done by artificial intelligence, so it actually has a very complicated formula where it actually gives it a final number. Also, a few things just to all these sources are categorized into tiers. So things like, for example, Stormbirds, FS News, those are tier 1 sources. Then I have tier 2 and obviously tier 3. And then we have the videos. Currently, there aren't any RSS feeds. There are no new videos from the sources that I'm tracking for you guys. So that's why you don't see it. But actually on the right column, there is a section for latest videos. I'm sure when FS Expo starts, we'll see more of those. So I believe X-Plane now has web endpoint, which apps can be used to communicate. So maybe you can run the tool through Proton or Wine. Untested territory, though. That's actually interesting. Yeah. FS Monitor is amazing. Thank you for all your hard work, Q8. I think you just need to find some new ways to promote it. Not enough people know about it. Yeah, I've kind of figured that out, that not a lot of people know about it. Now, guys, I'm good at some things, but I'm really bad at others. I'm really bad at, promoting stuff and marketing stuff. It's just not me. I'm not a very creative person in that sense. So I've tried. I've learned a lot during the past few years, definitely by doing, content creation, learning a lot about, marketing practices. I'm no expert, again. I just like to be myself. Again, it's something that came from just being very passionate about the community, because I truly, as a content creator, as I've said in the past, it's very important for me to stay up to date and abreast of everything, all the developments in the flight sim world. And I felt that if I am actually having to go through so many Discord forums and so many news sites to get the news, and I normally, by the way, I don't read articles because as a content creator, I don't want to be influenced, right, by whatever anyone says about any particular add-on. So I'd like to test them on my own time, my own money, and come up with my own opinion. So I normally just go for the news. And it's really, really difficult to follow all the news, going to multiple sites and forums. So if any one of you can help me with the promotion, I'll be more than happy. It has the exposure of the site needs to grow, I guess. Yeah. If you guys can help me in any way, spread the word about FS Monitor, of course, I will be very, very grateful. All right. So here we are. And we are not too far now from our destination. So we can actually, if you look here, yeah, we're actually not too far now. We're looking very good. And I love the TDS Garmin device. I've done, I think, a detailed video on it. And by the way, now it also supports helicopters. So it will automatically detect if you're flying a helicopter, and the displays will change. The details are exactly like the real unit. So yeah, very, very cool. Let's take a quick look here at the outside. Again, enjoying the beautiful scenery here from map enhancement flying over the state of Arizona in the US of A. There is something strange there, and that is more than likely a problem with map enhancement and the elevation data. But overall, looks really, really good. Ooh. TFKS Linux Gaming coming in with 5 Q8 pilot memberships. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. And guys, if you've received a gifted membership, please be sure to say thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Linux Gaming. I really appreciate that. That is very, very kind of you, sir. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. All right, here we are, looking good. Look at the scattering there of the cloud. Looks really good, and the sky colors look fantastic in X-Plane. All right, so we're almost there now. We can see that there are flights there from live traffic. By the way, in live traffic, if you want to check, you can go to live traffic here, go to status. And now you can see all the aircraft that are currently loaded. But if you click here, these are the only visible aircraft, okay? And these are real aircraft currently flying. You can see that this route has a lot of general aviation aircraft. And normally in the States, when you fly, you'll find a lot of general aviation aircraft. There are a few airlines like the Delta 2419er here. It's a 739. And it's currently descending, it looks like. So it is in descent. And then you have all the status. But you can actually also open the aircraft window information here. So let me move that here. You guys can see it here. So you can actually see the registration number of the aircraft, the ICO, call sign, American 1668, the current position, the coordinate, speed, all of that. Very, very nice. Even the CSL model is mentioned there. And then of course you can click here to toggle the camera view. So if I click here, I can actually go and see all these aircraft flying in the air. There is a Cessna 172 flying. So you see all sorts of aircraft. I don't know what this guy's doing, but there we go. We have all of these. So yeah, if we click back, then it takes us back to our aircraft. Very, very nice. I really like it. Of course, you have all the messages here. Yeah, weather download could not get data. Response was not okay. Yeah, that's fine because I'm using X-Plane traffic, X-Plane weather, and that's why it's not getting the weather there. So you can definitely set it up to get the weather, the METAR weather from the live station and ignore X-Plane weather. A good number of flight schools in the area. Oh, that's why, Stan, then. That's why you can see a lot of general aviation aircraft. 2-blade prop and 3-blade prop. Yeah, definitely. Does this add-on have persistent maintenance feature. It does have the persistence features, yes, fully, but it does not have maintenance. You do, well, let me strike that. So you do have to, change the oil. So you have to take care of that. And things like you have, by the way, can simulate all sorts of failures with the circuit breakers being modeled. Here, let me just go here. There you go. What happened? Why is it not clickable now? Maybe because we're flying? I don't know. But earlier it was clickable. I'm not sure what happened here. And then for example, if you forget your battery on, it will completely drain the next time you come. And then you'll have to go and use the GPU to start the aircraft. So it's got some really nice features. Both props are included. Yes, you have two versions of the aircraft. The version we are flying today is the turbo-powered engine. And there is the non-turbo version as well. So you'll see the different blades configuration there for the different aircraft as well. So all in all, very, very nice aircraft to fly. And again, tested by real-world pilots. They vouch for its flight model authenticity. And Captain Iceman currently has only 2 aircraft. So definitely they look over for quality rather than quantity. They've had this aircraft for quite some time. I think they've released the Seneca first, and then they released the Seminole. Now, the Seminole has a more has a more modern cockpit, which I do like, but I like this a lot better. Pipers have I like this one better than the Seminole. But Pipers, generally speaking, have a really, really nice cockpit look to them. Very unique. I love this particular, setup. The panel setup is very, very nice. For those of you just joining, yes, you do have your weight and balance here. The Seneca II, avionics package, barrow settings. You've got passenger settings here. You can set your fuel. From here, you can add the passenger weights here. You can see that the oxygen level has gone down, so you have to click to refill, and you have to manage the oil and the engines as well. I've showed that at the beginning of the stream. Maybe we'll take a look once we land. Maybe we'll see how it has affected the fuel as well. CIS Chieftain is in beta. Yeah, that's what we said, I think, at the beginning. And it will be the 3rd aircraft by CIS. I am really, really excited. May 07 day. I'm really excited to see that aircraft. I think I'm equally excited to also put my hands on the Bonanza V35 by Thronda, because first of all, I have a thing for Bonanzas. I really like them a lot. And the V-tail is just an amazing, amazing aircraft. So I really am looking forward to those, some really, really good aircraft in X-Plane. So quite happy with, with everything that's progressed so far. I think X-Plane 12.1.3 or 4, beta 3 is now available. That's basically just a VR update, so I haven't really downloaded it. And I'll wait until it's completely out in public, and then I'll go ahead and update. Let the Thronda cook for a few weeks. It has serious performance issues. Oh, really? Ah, okay. Well, then maybe we'll do the M500, which has also been recently released. I'm a video editor and would be happy to make some promotional content for FS Monitor if you'd like. Oh, what would be the best way to get in touch? Oh, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. You can contact me at info@qa-pilot.com. You can contact me via Discord, but the fastest and easiest way is info@qa-pilot.com, which is my email. That's the email that I check every day. So you'll be assured that, you'll see it. Of course, for whatever work you do, I will have to pay you I cannot expect you to do any work for free. So yeah, but I'm more than happy to work. I love to work with the flight sim community. In the past, I have done things like livery competitions and things like that. I just felt that working with the community is a real joy. I really love working with with fellow simmers, people that have passion for for flight simming. It's just different when you work with somebody. By the way, I get so many emails and Discord DMs. Hey, I'm a graphic designer. I want to work on thumbnails for you. And, they send me they're really very creative people, but, they haven't done, they're not from the flight sim community, so they wouldn't understand what I'm saying. And so for this reason, I kind of just relied on my own, humble abilities to, create the relative content for the channel. Even editing. I think editing is something that I've picked up and learned. I think I am quite okay. I don't consider myself, a great editor or a great user of editing, video editing software, but I think it meets the minimum requirement for, putting something decent out there. I think most of you guys are really looking for the content rather than nice transitions and things like that. So that helps me a lot. I'm kind of thankful for that. So yeah, but I know that folks are becoming increasingly they become more engaged when the video is well edited with B-rolls and like nice transitions, something happening on the screen, because hearing Q8 talk for more than 30 seconds continuous without the screen changing is probably boring for a lot of you. Guys, look at map enhancement. Wow, look at that. That looks absolutely gorgeous. See those? That's definitely some problem there. But look at those mountain tips here. They look really, really nice. This is a really mountainous area, isn't it? Yeah. Those lights, sky colors, everything looks really cool. And the night lighting inside the this Piper is also very nice. Yeah, here, I think now you can see this more clearly. Look at that. One thing I noticed, which is very cool, is they've actually nailed if I go here, there is a wing anti-ice light. If I turn this on and go to the outside, look at that. See that? That's pretty cool, huh? It actually helps the pilot detect whether there is ice on the wings. So it's a very smart way that Piper has built into the engine cowling here. So when you turn it on, you can see any visible ice on the wing, which is, very, very, very smart. So thankfully today we don't have any. And we can actually, what we can do now, folks, we are at 0, so we can actually go to the last waypoint there. So let me go to direct. We're going to go to flight plan. And then from ZMOB, we're going to go fly direct to ZMOB, activate. And now that takes us to ZMOB directly. What this does, it's going to put us there. And then we can make the turn to intercept the localizer for runway 21. So we are actually almost there now. And this is going to be a rather spectacular approach into flag. What was it called again? I always forget the name. So into Flagstaff. Is it Flagstaff Pulliam? Is it Pulliam? Pulliam. Looks like pull and Iam, so Pulliam, right? Maybe. I don't know. I hope so. Okay, there we go. That's true. The sim experience is what matters here. Glad to hear that. Maybe from the forum, it sounds like it's unique to the V35 compared to the F-33, so you think they could find the issue? Hopefully they would. Again, Linux Gaming, thank you very much for the gifted memberships. And AvTalk, thank you very much for your offer. I look forward to speaking with you. And yeah, this is actually, guys, an aircraft that I recommend. The CIS... we can actually switch this now to the active frequency, the ILS frequency. Definitely something that I would recommend. Very, very enjoyable aircraft, a real joy to hand fly. And as I mentioned earlier, the flight model is very accurate, tested by real-world pilots. They attest to its accuracy. The Discord server of JetStream, the developer behind the Captain Iceman series aircraft, is very active. They have a lot of people. I didn't know they had that many people, but definitely a very active, very supportive, very nice. When I posted there into the support forum, immediately the developer sent me a couple of videos to show me how to start the aircraft, which I was not able to do successfully without flooding the engines and then, going back to, I don't know why it does that. But I'm sure it's something that I've done wrong, because in the video that he sent me, it just starts perfectly without any issues. So yeah. And of course, there is an update. I received an email from TOLUS, guys, that the TOLUS A320 has been updated, and it looks like they've made major improvements to the EFB with the SimBrief integration and things like that. So I will be definitely doing a flight maybe midweek next week with the TOLUS A320 to take a look. We haven't flown the TOLUS in ages. Hello there, Trent Simmer 1967 from Stuttgart. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Beautiful plane. I will start saving up for it. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's very nice, and I think it's reasonably priced as well. I don't think it's very expensive for what it does. I think it's definitely worth the money. And if we actually go here to the back of the aircraft here, again, very nice texturing. You can see again the realism there on the wings, right here as well. Look at those beautiful sky colors and the night lighting in X-Plane. Okay, so we're getting pretty close now to our destination. Let me very quickly come here, and we're going to go to the weather. The altimeter is 3030. So we are going to come here, and we're going to set it to 3030. It will adjust, basically. There we go, 3030. Perfect. And we are at 10,000 feet, and we're close to our destination, so we're going to turn on the landing lights. And yeah, that's the turn right there, as you can see. So I'm going to start slowing the aircraft down. All right, there we go. So the airport should be somewhere here. Where is it? Can you guys see it? Can you spot it? Ah, I think it must have been, that must be the airport right there. Yeah, I can see some aircraft flying, so this is definitely the airport right there. Okay, perfect. All right, very well. All's looking good. And we're almost now at our destination. We are at 10,000 feet. The platform altitude is 10,200, so we don't really need to do anything. Quite an elevated area here in Arizona. And it's going to be a really nice approach, guys. Yeah, with all these beautiful lights. It's going to be really cool. Let's take a quick look here at the outside. And let's see here. Why don't we have our landing lights on? Ah, that's strange. Is it because of the speed? Let me just come down here real quick. Because I don't see the landing lights coming on. I think it's due to the speed. I think once the speed is slower, then it will, because those will actually, they come out. So yeah, cowl flaps are open. And we are now good. Let's take a quick look here. We're almost there. That's our turn to intercept the localizer. So we can just go all the way here and then make the turn. What are we? Okay, we are at about 100. Okay, let me give it just a little power here. Okay, we'll maintain about 110 knots. I always find it so hard to spot the airport. Yeah. But thankfully, with the, with the lights and the terrain, you can pretty much know where the airport is. So right now, we can see that the airport is just behind us. This is final. So we're actually, this is what? The Zamab is where we're heading right now. And then we have the turn here. So we're actually looking pretty good. Yeah. Look at those lights, guys. Wow. X-Plane is just looking fantastic. For the elevation issue, use the flatten option in map enhancement to fix that. This will help. Oh, thank you very much, Train Simmer. I think I've spotted that option. I just didn't know what it does. And I was afraid that it will actually flatten the contours on the runway as well. And maybe it will. So yeah, so maybe that's something I need to do to make sure that, we have a, right. So I need to set the course. So where is the course? All right. So the course is 214. So let's do that. 214. Okay. Right. The course is set. And the only thing now we need to do is as soon as we begin the turn, we will switch to VLOC. The ILS frequency is already selected, so we can use approach. And then we're good to go. And we should then begin the descent towards Flagstaff. Everything is in tip-top shape. The approach is already activated. All right, and here is the turn, ladies and gents. We are going to remove the yoke here just momentarily. We're going to click on approach, and then we're going to come here. And in order to change this, if I go back and click there, VLOC, I think it took that out. All right, so approach, there we go. All right, and we're going to start reducing the speed a little bit. We do have the glide slope, as you can see here. And we are intercepting the localizer. The approach has been captured. Wow, what a beautiful approach here as we arrive. You can see the red lights as well. And we can see the runway ahead right there. Yep, we definitely have the runway in sight. I'll adjust the course. And you can see that the glide slope here, so the aircraft will begin the descent shortly. It should be automatic. So the glide slope, because this is an eyeless approach, so I think it should be fine. Yeah, we can see it. We are at the exactly here at the eyeless. So it looks like there is some crosswind. You can see the aircraft has begun the descent now as well. Right, we'll disconnect at about 1,000 feet. Or actually, it's not going to be 1,000. It's going to be about 7,500 is when we're going to disconnect the autopilot and hand fly the aircraft. We are looking good at the moment. And you can see the beautiful mountains here. Look at that. Very, very nice indeed. Right, the cowl flaps are open. We'll put the props full forward. Actually, let me bring them back just a tad so we don't burn the engines. There we go. I think that's good. Perfect. And we'll ease off there on the throttle. About 75 knots is good for landing. And let me check the weather here real quick. Let's see. So we have 258 gusting to 17. Oof. Wow, that's going to be tough. Yeah. That's definitely going to be very tough. But it means that you guys are in for a treat. Because you really dig that kind of stuff, don't you? And it puts Q8 in a lot of, under a lot of pressure to bring the aircraft safely. But this is a rather beautiful approach here into Flagstaff. Right, we're looking good here. Right, we are on the glide slope and the localizer. Let's see here. All right, looking good. Okay, we want to be stable at the time we arrive at the runway. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me set the course again to 210. There we go. All right, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the speed a little bit. Want to be below 100 knots. 100 knots and below, we can go ahead and... all right, so we are actually getting pretty close. You know what, guys? I think I want to disconnect the autopilot now and hand fly the approach. So let me set first. We're going to go first notch of flaps. Right, perfect. And we're going to go ahead and lower the landing gear. Wow, that vibration. Gotta love the force feedback yoke there. And oof, I can really feel the stiffness now from the wind. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. Right, my aircraft. Oof, look at the wind there. Wow. All right, let's get it stable. All right, flaps are full. All right, and my aircraft. Hopefully we can nail this one. We have the runway in sight. The visibility is great, but there's gusting winds. I can definitely feel the force on the yoke. Wow, it's much more difficult to land with force feedback. because it really pushes you. So you really can feel what the aircraft is doing. Well, in some ways it is much more immersive, but it actually tells you what you need to do.
500.
But yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. I can definitely feel the wind. Tell you guys, hand flying this aircraft is just a real joy. Right, a little bit of rudder there to keep it straight. All right, and we've made it safely here to Flagstaff. Oh, the winds are so strong. All right, let's see here. Is this a taxiway? Yes, it is. And guys, we've made it safely to our destination. And I don't think that we've arrived into an airport at nighttime for quite some time in X-Plane. So here's a bit of a change. Look at those taxi lights. Just how beautiful that is. All right, so we're going to come here and landing lights are off. Actually, let me just show you very quickly. So you can see the landing lights, how beautiful they are. Yeah. All right, so we can turn those off. And now we can taxi. Let's retract the flaps. All right, flaps retracted. Wow, just beautiful, isn't it? Very, very nice. Right, before we actually stop, let me bring the aircraft to... let's do a replay of our landing. One of the most important things to do is the replay. So let's do that. All right, let's see here. We'll give it... yeah, I think we want to see it.
Don't sink.
All right, no, we won't sink.
Don't sink.
All right, here we go.
Don't sink.
Yeah, that TDS is going to bother us now.
Don't sink.
But that's okay.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't
That is
sink.
my favorite view right there.
Don't sink. Don't
Actually,
sink.
let's do this.
Don't
Let's
sink.
do that right
Don't
there.
sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
It is annoying, I know.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Bit of a hard landing, I must say. But considering the circumstances, yeah, I'll take it. All right, let's do it one more time. There we go. All right. Well, it's a bit off there from the center line, but yeah, that's okay. Alrighty. Okay, so where do we park this aircraft? I think the parking spot is a bit further. There are a lot of parking spots in this airport, I know. It's my actually first time at this airport. Right, there we go. Let's see. I think we can come here and park it. Yeah. Even if it's not a spot, we'll make it one. There we go. All right. Perfect. Parking brake set. Notice the lights there, the landing gear lights. Looks so good. Again, look at the night lighting here. Now, if you click here, you can illuminate the passenger cabin, and it looks spectacular. Very, very nice. I really like the animation. I really like this aircraft a lot. Everything about it is very enjoyable. And with the latest updates are definitely welcome changes to the aircraft. I think brings it at par with a lot of the general aviation aircraft in X-Plane. So first, before we burn our avionics, we'll turn off the avionics, and then we'll come down here and we'll turn off the strobes. We'll turn off the nav light, and then we'll come here and kill the engines. There we go. Engines are dead. Okay. And then we can come down here. We're going to turn off the magneto switches. We're going to turn off the beacon light. We're going to make sure the fuel pumps are off. And then we're going to turn off the alternator switches. Battery master is off. And we're going to come here and turn off the fuel valves are off. Then we're going to come here to the outside. We're going to click here. Actually, let me show you for those of you who were at the beginning of the stream. So if you click here, you'll see that, you have to, the oil has gone down a little bit. So if you click here, you see how it went up the green line. And then we click. So you do have to maintain the aircraft. And the same thing obviously happens on the right engine. So if you click here now and you see, I think, let me just zoom in. All right, I think you can see it better now. So you see now the white line is below the green. If you click here once, it takes it above. So now you're good. So the oil is now good and you're ready to go. So now you can close it. So you do have to maintain this aircraft. You do have to take care of it. So let's put the static elements back. So we click here once. We'll put the chocks and the engine cover. And now the aircraft is again in cold and dark state. And with that, ladies and gents, we come to the conclusion of this live stream. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. If you have any questions post-stream, you can always submit it in the comments section. I will see you guys again this coming weekend. We will either do the M500 or the Bonanza by Thronda, depending on which one I feel, more tempted to go and purchase. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely day ahead. Bye-bye for now.